Me and Steph Curry with the shot. Been cooking with the sauce. Chef Curry with the pot, boy.
Live from the 301, live from the pot. I want to welcome my audience to episode number 236 of Curry and the Pot. I'm your host, guy Mike Curry, and I'm back with another episode, man. It's been a little minute. A lot of moving parts going on around, especially around these parts, man. I can't even have people pop up to the studio right now, but had a little vacation in LA a couple of weeks ago, so a lot of stuff's been going on, man. But one thing I really have been pushing, man, is Just a Casual podcast. I've been on there. I've been consistent with it lately. But speaking of Just a Casual podcast, man, we got the host right here, man. So welcome back, my guy Bink, also my co-host. But Bink, what's good, bro? Talk to me about where you're at. Talk to me about what's going on with you. And then, tell the people about Jack.
What's up, man? I mean, right now I'm in Indianapolis. I have a little media internship with my school. I go to Morgan State University, for those who don't know. And we're here for the Circle.
Zip up on too. He got the zip
I
up
do
on.
got the quarter zip on. And we're here for the Circle City Classic. We play Miles College tomorrow at 3 p.m. So I'm here till then, man. I mean, it's kind of surreal just because it made me think of how far I've came. Like even back when we were doing episodes on Skype. Now we on Zoom. Yeah. We in person sometimes. And yeah. And it's just it's been a long time coming. And Just Casual Sports Podcast. That's my podcast I have with a few of the guys, man. Today I took my first leave of absence from an episode that's gonna be out tomorrow. So I'm interested to see how that episode went.
I am very interested to see how that's going.
They have the longest episode in Jack history. I know that much. I know that.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm interested in seeing how that turns out because you're not on there. I'm not on there. They got the other cast member, Jalen, who is on there the most outside of you and I. So
he was the host.
I'm interested to see who. Yeah, you got Jalen working hard, man, working overtime, man. But I'm excited to see how it's gonna go, man. Just because
the rest of the B team was with him.
Yeah, we got the B team on there, man. Jalen was the only 18 member part of the pod this week. So shout out to Jalen. I really want to know who led the thing in hosting. I would assume it was him, but should be an instant episode.
Jalen did the intro. I haven't watched much of it. I haven't listened to any of it. I know Jalen did the intro though.
Yeah, I gotta get my stuff ready so we can get these clips out, man. A lot of content to drop this weekend. But Here we go, man. Week 4 is here. Let's go ahead and recap this NFC West Showdown last night. Final score was 23-20, but if you watch this game, for a big portion of this game, it wasn't that close. I saw a critical possession where the Seahawks got a little conservative, and they ended up missing a field goal. Who's their kicker? Jason Myers. Yeah, they was like on the broadcast, they were like, yeah, they're gonna settle for 52, and I'm just like, why? Put the Cardinals away right here, right now.
I hate to say it. That's what happens when you have two defensive coaches going against each other, though.
Yeah, bro, it's nasty. But that was just nasty, bro. And they proceeded to go with the Jason Myers kick. He ends up missing. Cardinals drive all the way downfield, and they score a touchdown and tie the game up. With what? Not that many seconds left in the game. I want to say it was 28 seconds left. So
then it was a bunch of JSN down the stretch.
Yeah, shame on the Cardinals defense for letting those guys come down the field that fast and kicking the field goal. You had all momentum on your side. The crowd was really into it. But what was your impressions of that game, man? I definitely have some stuff to share, but I want to get your take real quick.
I think it's funny. Cardinals fans on Twitter was really talking about Kyler, I guess, during the whole entire game. For the first part of the game. Well, I shouldn't even say first part. Until the fourth quarter, I was on a plane coming to Indianapolis. I got to catch up on the condensed version, and I watched a little bit of towards the end, after the missed field goal, the Seahawks final drive and stuff. But it seemed like a lot of people weren't too fond of Kyler. Somebody made a tweet that said it's year 7 and Kyler still sucks. Damn. That caught my eye. But Marvin Harrison Jr. obviously last night, I feel like he's the talk of the town right now. Of course, that crucial drop on the slant route, then him kind of settling in the zone. It just seems like him and Kyler are never on the same page. Even early in the game, it's a route that Marvin Harrison Jr. took vertical. Kyler wanted him to take the out route. But I think towards the end of the game, I like that Kyler kept targeting him, showing him that I'm not losing faith in you. You're gonna get through this. And he did. I mean, he got a touchdown. He caught a couple of nice grabs towards the sideline. And then on Seattle's side, they proved me wrong. They proved me wrong. I said it on TikTok today. I was a big believer in this offense. But Sam Darnold, I hate to say, he's playing like a top 5 quarterback in football right
He's
now.
been playing very well. I know the analytic numbers say speak to that as well.
Analytics say he's top 3.
Yeah, the analytics have definitely spoken very highly of Sam Darnold, and I mean, kudos to him, man. Guy has definitely had, a roller coaster of a career, and to get to this point, to where, a team was willing to invest money into him, a big deal into him, and say, hey, lead us, and he's been playing really well so far. But
Yeah.
I
Shout
wanted
out
to say,
Jason too.
you got anything else on this?
I said shout out Jason. And the
Oh
other
yeah,
thing, I do
I
have
was
something
going to
else.
pivot to that.
I do have something else. Kenneth Walker is such a talented running back, but he has so many runs. And I don't even know if you know exactly what I'm talking about last night, where he just loses yards. Somebody said Kenneth Walker doesn't just lose yards.
Yeah, I
He
did
takes
notice that.
sacks. That was hilarious. And then
Yeah,
that shows you why Charbonnet still gets carries.
I was gonna say his vision is not the best. Like I feel like Kenneth Walker, he needs a hole created. Like I feel
It's
like
crazy.
he's a guy to me. He can't make a lot out of nothing, but like he's like
But he
he's like
tries
an
to, though.
on-schedule running back. Yeah, he does try, but I just
He
feel
thinks
like
he's Bucky
he
Irving.
doesn't have the greatest vision. But I wanted to say, yeah, I wasn't impressed with how conservative the Seahawks called plays down the stretch. I also wasn't impressed about how late they got JSN involved. Not just because of financial reasons. I want to make that very clear. But when it's your best player, I think he's their best player on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
cannot
no,
go
you think
half.
he is their best player on offense.
Yeah, you cannot go a half without giving him a target. Like why at halftime did Jack Smith and Jigba have 2 carries? No, he had a carry for 2 yards and 0 targets. That just makes no sense at all.
Nah, I know somebody who bet on Trey McBride to get a reception on the first drive and JSN to get a reception on the first drive.
Mm. Mm. That's hard. That's a hard one to swallow, man. But for the Cardinals, I mean, this is their second straight loss. Where do you think they go from here, real quick?
Um, I don't know what their upcoming schedule is, but
I'll pull it up for you.
as crazy as it says, you just kind of have to win. It's not like they lost these 2 games by a tremendous amount in both. Obviously, they weren't in this game for the majority of it, but you're in it at the end. You lose to 2 division rivals by a grand total of 4 points. It's not like you're horrible.
Yeah. You want me to give you the next 5 games?
Yeah.
Okay, so October 5th, versus the Titans.
Okay, that should be
Following week at Indianapolis.
Ah.
Following week versus Green Bay. Then they have a bye week. Then they're at Dallas, and then they're at Seattle again the following week.
Yo, that could be a tough stretch.
What do you predict them to win those 5 games? I was gonna say it doesn't seem like it's getting that much easier for them.
2-3, 3-2-ish. But this is what I said. I didn't like the way they closed out the Carolina and New Orleans games. Obviously, the next 2 games they started out slow, but they just can't put a complete game of football together.
Yeah, they haven't done that all season long. So, I actually thought they were going to beat the 49ers, but they didn't. But yeah, interesting. On the flip side, I want to talk about Seattle's upcoming schedule. I'm pulling that up for you right now.
Seattle on a 3-game win streak right now.
Seattle is on a 3-game win streak. They could easily be 4-0. If Tariq Woolen get bagged on by a third string tight end. But they could be 4-0. But next week they have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then the following week at Jacksonville. Then the following week versus Houston. Then they have a bye week. Then they have at Washington, and of course versus Arizona, as I just mentioned.
That at Washington game, that's a primetime game, right?
Yes, it is a Sunday night football game. Should be a bloodbath.
That's crazy. Sam Darnold versus JD5.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
marquee
JD5,
football right there.
That should be a game, though. That should be a good game.
They should be. The worst part is I could see Seattle, like they're a team that is like an any given Sunday team to me. I think they could, like obviously they're winning right now, but I think it wouldn't shock me if they would have lost any of their previous 3 games. Like, well, besides the
Yeah.
New Orleans game, I should say.
Yeah,
But like
facts.
the Pittsburgh game or the Arizona game, it wouldn't have shocked me if they came out as a loser in that one. So it should be an interesting slate for them.
No, that's real. So let's move on to the Sunday slate, man. We got our first game. Well, not our first game, but our first 9:30 game. I was gonna say our first game overseas, but that's not true. We had the Chiefs and Chargers in Brazil. But we have our game in Dublin, man. We got the Vikings against the Steelers. Obviously 9:30 a.m. time, man. What do you think about this game? Vikings are -2.5. The over/unders at 40.5. So we got to talk about that. But what you thinking about this one, man? Vikings Steelers.
If I had a nickel for every time Brian Flores played Aaron Rodgers overseas in the last 2 years, I had two nickels. Because I was like, I felt like we saw this matchup last year with the Jets and Vikings, and we did in London. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember that game. I feel like it was the same week last year.
I do remember because I be watching. I've always watched those games at work.
Mhm.
I never had a Sunday where I'm like working from home or off when it's like an overseas game. I'm always at work watching those games.
Yeah, so we get Flores. I just don't think the Steelers are gonna have enough firepower in this one. I'm not gonna lie. When you talk about the way Flores blitzes and all the exotic blitz packages they bring, if DK Metcalf's not beating you, and we've seen teams do that, if DK Metcalf's not beating you, it's almost nobody's beating you on that offense because it's Jonnu Smith and Pat Fryermuth who are cool targets over the middle of the field. And now you take away the middle. Now we got to rely on Calvin Austin and the rest of the friends they got over there. I wouldn't even call those guys receivers, but like
The
it's just stuff
friend.
like that that I don't. That's why I didn't trust the Steelers coming into this season.
Hey,
And
yeah.
like I said, it's
So,
kind of like a conflict of interest between
so
Rodgers
to
and
me,
Arthur Smith.
okay, all right. Quick question. So if the Steelers would have acquired another receiver or maybe drafted a receiver at some point in the draft, you would feel better about them.
Yeah. Even though I know this wasn't like the ideal situation, you could have just kept George Pickens at this point. Like have DK and George.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even though like they're similar types, but like that's still something the defense, has to worry about. They're
Mhm.
not worried about Calvin Austin, who I actually like, but you're not really worried about. I mean, you worry about his speed, but I mean, it's the NFL. Everybody's fast, so that's my take. That's my take. But sounds like you're picking the Vikings. I'm gonna pick the Steelers. Fun fact about me: I have not picked the Vikings to win a game this year.
I
Fun
know.
fact. Fun fact. But that's crazy, right? Um,
Yeah,
but
KOC
I
your guy.
say that again.
Say KOC's your guy too.
Kevin O'Connell is my guy, and I love him, but I don't love his quarterback room.
I
Um,
don't scheme over team, man. I truly believe that in some cases. Like
I was gonna
obviously,
say, in some cases, that is a fact.
unless the team is horrible like the Browns, like I still believe in Kevin Stefanski as a coach. I
I
just
do
think
too.
the team is
Yeah, I'm
absolutely
with you
horrible.
there. I'm with you there. But I don't know. I got a feeling about the Steelers, man. The line being at 2.5 just it kind of weirds me out. But um, I think the way this, I mean, and you can make this argument for both sides. But I think the Steelers are looking at this as an opportunity to really, raise their upper hand in the division, in the AFC North. With the Ravens struggling, potentially could be dropping to 1-3 by the end of this weekend. On the flip side for the Vikings, they got two teams in their division. I honestly got a couple of teams. They got all three teams, kind of got their swag. I know the Packers lost to the Browns, but the Packers, they look like the team to beat. The Lions look like they've got their stride back, and the Bears also look like they're about to start playing their best football potentially. But
Nah, they just played the Cowboys defense. That's all.
I mean, they get ready to play the Raiders too, so that's why I say hit their stride. They get ready to play another bad team, another bad defense. That Marcus Mariota and company just destroyed. But
You threw
that's
me off by saying another bad team. They just another bad defense.
I I mean I guess. But I'm gonna pick the Steelers in this one, man. I'm trusting Rodgers over Carson Wentz. But Carson, I
You
mean,
don't even sound
I want
caught.
I
You
want to
do.
see Carson Wentz tested because we didn't have to see him last week.
But I don't even necessarily think you're going to see him tested this week. The Steelers have been one of the worst defenses
They
at
have.
stopping the run. It's just in general. Like if it wasn't for two fumbles inside the two, we're talking about a 1-3 Steelers team right now. Or
That is
1-2
true.
Steelers team.
That is true. I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know. I'm rolling with the Steelers, man. Next game on the Sunday slate. Um, Commanders at Falcons. Falcons are favored by 1.5. Total is sitting at 43.5. Bink, how do you feel about this game? Jaden
I'm back
Daniels
and
ruled
forth.
out, as well as Terry McLaurin ruled out. Um, for another week, Jaden Daniels is out. So, how do you feel about this game? Atlanta coming off a game where they did not score last week.
And that's why I'm very back and forth because everything points to Atlanta should win this game. But at the end of the day, you know me, I've never been a fan of Raheem Morris. I wasn't a fan of the Michael Penix pick when it happened. I just don't. And I feel like every time I start to think like, maybe this team is good. The ugliness rears its ugly head. We even talking going back to last year when they were 6-3. I was like, okay, they could win this division. Then they dropped like 4 games in a row, and I'm like, all right, what is going on? And now like this year, I like after the Vikings game, I was like, okay, they could run the football efficiently and just get out of here with wins if their defense plays like that, and then they get 30-0 by the Panthers. So I never know what to think of Atlanta, and I think that's the scariest part when you're predicting games like this because the Commanders, you at least know you're going to get a good run game. We don't know how much the pass game is going to be there with Mariota because they weren't even tested last week against Vegas to really pass the ball. So I've really been going back and forth on this one. I think I'm a rock with Atlanta though, and I'm gonna hate myself when the Commanders win this game inevitably.
It's tough, man. It's tough. But something funny and ugly that I was talking to Brian with on the game. It was just me and Brian in the party. I said Mariota revenge game
I was literally
again.
thinking that as soon as you said it, I already knew where the angle you was going at it.
um, I wanted to read the injury report real quick. Cordell Hodge is out. Nathan Carter out. AJ Terrell also out again. Jordan Fuller we know is on IR. Tyrone Wheatley, he's been out on IR. But for the Commanders, Percy Butler is questionable. Bill Krosky, Merrick questionable. Noah Brown out. John Bates, my guy, out. Damn it. Terry McLaurin, Terry McLaurin out as already mentioned. Um, uh, I, mm, how is Atlanta against the run? That's what I wanted to ask you before I even. I mean, I'm leaning Commanders, but how's Atlanta
Um,
against the run? I can pull it up too.
I actually think they did pretty well last week. Like it literally was just an offensive problem last week for the reason why they lost. They was I don't want to say they were getting gutted by Jordan Mason, but like Jordan Mason was holding his own when the game was still close in week 2. I know that much for sure. And
Okay,
week
so
one,
I got it up right here. Atlanta is 10th against the run, so that's
oh
pretty
yeah, because
good.
Tampa couldn't run against them, but Tampa can't run against anybody right now because their whole offensive line's out.
Oh, this is tough. And you got the Commanders who are 12th against the run. But I think that I mean the Raiders haven't been able to run the football, so you can make that
Both of
argument.
these teams are kind of inflated by teams with horrible offensive lines right now.
Yeah. This is a tough game,
This
bro.
actually might be the toughest one to pick this week.
Bro, it's up there. It's
Oh yeah,
definitely
now it
up
definitely
there.
is up there. I kind of forgot what else we got on the slate.
Um, I picked against the Commanders last week. I picked against
Pick against them again. Either you happy or you're right.
Bingo. Um, uh,
That's what I need to
something
start
is
doing with
telling
the Cowboys.
something's telling me that the Falcons should bounce back. Like you can't play any worse than they did last week.
You literally
Um,
can't. It's
I
impossible.
think they'll actually be able to run the football as opposed to a Raiders team who could not run the football whatsoever last week. Um, and they have more weapons to me than the Raiders do. They're at home. I'm a, I'm gonna take Atlanta, but I don't know. That's just tough because I feel like to me this shows me that the Commanders are in panic mode where they're like, okay, we know
Hmm.
we don't need to play Jalen. We could rock with Mariota. I mean, they said they had two QB1s. Um,
They don't believe that.
yeah, nah, five different.
They don't believe that.
I mean, it sound good. It sound good. Um,
That's like the Cowboys saying that we had Cooper Rush and Dak. Yeah, Cooper Rush can win games. That it sound good.
I'm gonna go. Fuck it, Dan Quinn revenge game. I'm going Commanders.
Okay.
I'm going Commanders. That was hard for me to. That was a hard game, bro. That was a hard game.
I ain't gonna lie, these next couple ones.
All right, we got the easiest game on the slate this week. We got the Saints at Buffalo. Um, I actually got to pull something up on the injury report. My dad just asked me. Um, Let me pull this up. He asked me to pull up the Saints injury report. I'm at this point of life. I'm pulling up the injury report every freaking week. My guy Chase Young is out for a fourth consecutive week. Um, but I don't think it matters. This is the Buffalo Bills here in Buffalo at home. Um, Off of 3 extra days rest too. The only worst thing they can do is come out flat, but if they come out flat, they'll still win this game. They're favored by 15.5. I wanted to ask you, before you give your pick, obviously you're going to pick the Bills to win. You think they cover the spread?
That's so rare in the NFL that we get a spread this huge. And I feel like
It don't happen that. It might be like one game a year where it's a big spread.
the worst part about it is I want to pick the Bills to cover this spread, but it's the NFL. And Adam Schefter said this games rarely go how you anticipate them going in the NFL. And I do kind of believe that to an extent. But I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna say the Buffalo go cover the 15.5. That Saints team is bad, man. They're
No,
bad.
it's bad. It's potentially going to be the worst team in pro football this year. Um,
They're gonna get
yeah,
nuts.
I'm rolling with the Bills. I like the Bills to cover as well. Next
Next up
game,
is the second easiest game of the slate.
Browns at Detroit. Wanted to ask you, do you think the Browns? I mean, I'm sorry, the Lions have hit a little stride here, and
Um,
you did build upon that.
I feel like you could say that, but yeah, they could build upon it. But I think this is going to be a tougher week for them this week, just because when we talk about the Ravens defense right now, currently, and the Chicago defense right now, currently, those are two of the worst run defenses in the NFL. Point blank, period. Even the Cowboys were gashing them on the ground. They were just down by 10 the whole game, so it didn't matter what they were doing on the ground. I could see this being a week where it's a little bit of like not even like a struggle to score per se, but like, well, yeah, struggle to score. I could see this being a little bit of a struggle week, but I think Detroit ultimately pulls this out.
Yeah, I do think they find a way to win. If this game was in Cleveland, I'd probably be a little bit more worried. But I like the Lions. Um, I think they'll continue to build upon what they did last week. And I mean that was still a close game. That was still a game when they won closely. But the Browns defense is for real, man. It's ferocious. Myles Garrett is literally the best defensive player in all of pro
Jordan, run!
football. Like he's so good, man. He just elevates a team, and elevates a unit. I think the Browns just don't have an offense.
I was saying there's not many defensive guys who literally elevate units, and I have a list of 4 guys that actually do it, and it's Miles Garrett's at the top of the list, obviously, but I think it's Garrett,
Myles Garrett,
Parsons,
yeah,
Fred Warner, and Surtain. I think those 4 guys literally just completely elevate units.
yeah. I can definitely agree with that. I can agree with that.
I think it's hard to say for a corner because it's like you drop Surtain on Vegas. Does their defense their defense does get tremendously better? Let me stop. Let me stop.
Hey, yo. All right, next game, a good one, man. A couple of you got one of your coaches going up against one of your QBs. We got the Panthers at New England. I'm gonna start with you on this one, man.
I like the fact that
Patriots
the
favored by
Panthers are
5.5.
Yeah, I like the fact that the Patriots are favored by 5.5. They haven't shown me much this year to show me like, yeah, they should be 5.5 point favorites in the game. Like if it was 3.5, I'll get it. These are 2-1-2 teams. Obviously, the Patriots are a couple of miscues away from being 2-1 right now, but they're not. They're 1-2 for a reason. I mean, if they could get their act together, there's no reason they shouldn't win this game, and they should honestly dominate this game against this Panthers team. This defense is not played up to par, but I don't even know what up to par is for Carolina's defense at this point. I
Yeah,
like Dave Canales. The offense still struggled last week. It's not like I said, it wasn't a great offensive performance for Carolina. It was just a bad performance for Atlanta. I'm taking New England in this one though. I like Drake May. He had a good game last week, other than obviously the tip interception at the 2-yard line, but the ball was tipped. I'm not gonna put that on him.
I like the Patriots in this one too. I'm still waiting to see um on the unleashed version of Travion Henderson. Obviously, this is a guy that they
I think it's
drafted
coming
early.
soon.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to start and get most of the lion's share of the carries. Just because of the miscues we've been seeing from Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson. Both guys with known fumbling problems. I'm also waiting to see when one of these receivers is going to step up, man. Stephon Diggs, like Yo, what's good, bro? Like, come on. I want to see something from you, man. Like, I'm really waiting, man. I'm hearing more about Stephon Diggs off the field than I am on the field. And
Streets told me he was washed. I didn't want to believe it.
yeah, man. I mean, I saw a tweet last week that said Stephon Diggs and Trayvon Diggs are models now. And
Yo, Aiden funny, bro. Aiden, I was just looking at the picks for this week. I was saying Aiden trying to get back in it. He picked Green Bay this week to beat Dallas, even though you go.
but yeah, I'm rolling with New England too, man. But Carolina, man, I think they'll keep it close. Next game, Chargers at the Giants. I don't think this game. For some reason, I'm feeling trap game a little bit, man. But I do
I'm
expect the
not.
Chargers to win. But Jackson Dart is gonna start. How that rhyme? Um, I do think Malik Neighbors will be more involved early. It's just no reason why he wasn't involved last week. Um, but I like the I like the Chargers, man. This is a team coached by Jim Harbaugh who knows how to get his guys prepared for games. You know, all types of traveling and stuff like that. He knows. This is Jim Harbaugh we're talking about. One of the best coaches. He's one of the best coaches in all of pro football. And obviously, he was one of the best college coaches and always had his players prepared to play, no matter where they were playing. And you know, the Chargers, they got their swag, man. They got everything going. Obviously, 3-0 in division games. Um, and I expect them to take care of business in New York, man. So I'm going with the Chargers in this one.
It ain't much to say, man. The Chargers should win this game easily. Russell Wilson, the Cowboys defense got that man benched because he really believed that he could throw up anything to those receivers down the field and they were going to come down with it. Like it was actually disrespectful the stuff he was throwing on Sunday Night Football. It was ridiculous. And I don't think Jackson Dart is much better than Russell Wilson if he is better at all.
He
I was
got
not a
swag, bro.
I was not a fan of him coming out of Ole Miss. I'm still not a fan of him right now. And
It,
knowing the way I'm talking about him right now, he might make me eat my words, but I'll take that chance.
it's gonna sound crazy, but I said I like what I saw from him in preseason, and of course it's just preseason, so I don't want to put too much like mustard on that or like talk too much about it. But like he looked like he got like some swag to him. I don't know what it is. He look like I don't know what it is about him, but he got some type of like swag to him. So I
You
do
know who
like
else has
him.
respect to them?
What are you about to say?
Justin Fields.
No, he doesn't.
He do got swag.
Nah. Anyways, next game. Eagles at Buccaneers, man. I'm starting with you on this one, man. Eagles favored by 3.5. Over unders at 44.5. Um, do you are the Eagles gonna lose this game, man? I know Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin are all in line to play. Um, what do you think about this game, man? What do you think, man? Are the Eagles just gonna keep winning?
Unfortunately, I do think the Eagles are just going to keep winning. The Tampa's been the team that like the Eagles can't figure out over the last 3 or so years. Like they keep losing to Tampa, but this Tampa team is just too banged up. Yes, Tristan Wirfs coming back, but I believe Cody Mock is out for the season. I believe they lost another offensive lineman last week against the Jets. I just can't remember his name right now. And Tampa's offense has just not. I mean, you can say the same thing about Philly's offense. It hasn't hit their stride yet. But if I'm betting on one offense to hit their stride, unfortunately, is going to be the Eagles just because they got the better players. Like it's
And we
that
saw their
simple.
offense hit their stride in the second half last
Yeah,
week
it's
too.
crazy to think when you push the ball down the field, your offense looks better when you got one of the best man beaters in pro football and AJ Brown, and then another really
It's like
probably the best number.
it's like that Drake and Lil
I was
Yachty.
literally about to say that when he was talking to Yachty.
It's like yeah, it's like that. Like oh, we should throw the AJ Brown. Wait, we have a top three receiver on our team.
It's crazy when you give him the ball, good things happen. It's simply that simple sometimes. And it's crazy to think it took them being down 6-3 for them to even maybe we should get, our 6'2", 215-pound receiver who runs a 4.4 involved.
Okay, so I know this is funny. This is an interesting game because I just said, are the Eagles due for a loss? But I can say the same thing about the Buccaneers, who have been
Hmm.
escaping games by the
Yep.
skin of their teeth.
I mean, both
Last
teams won
week,
3 1 possession games, but yeah, I feel like
that's my
Tampa's one
point.
possession games are a little closer than Philly's, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah, like the Buccaneers, they should have. They had no bit. I don't think they should have won last week or in that Texans game.
I mean,
They
they should
had
have
no
won against
business
Atlanta.
winning that. Yeah, like it's crazy that the Buccaneers could be, bro. Either one of these teams, they could easily both be 1-2 right here. Like no funny, bro. Like
Forget one
I
and two.
think they're
Both of these
better
teams can
than.
be 0-3 right now.
I just wasn't gonna say it because they're they're a good team. They're good enough teams to not be 0-3. But
No, you can say
yeah,
that, but at the same time, if we're talking from Philly standpoint, they're CD forgetting how to catch the football away, Travis Kelce forgetting how to catch the football away, and 2 kick blocks away from being 0-3. Like
yeah.
all of that had to
That,
happen.
that, that and Sean McVay going conservative,
Hmm.
which is I'm still pissed off about that game. I might not ever let that, and I will only let it go if the Rams beat the Eagles in the playoffs. Other than that, I'm not getting over it. Like straight up. Yeah, this is a close game, man. I'm actually gonna roll with the Eagles. I think this is only the who do the Eagles play week 2?
Chiefs.
This is only my second time picking the Eagles to win this year. I picked them against Dallas, of course. I picked the Chiefs week 2. They should have lost. I picked the Rams week 2. I mean week 3. They should have lost that game. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Eagles here. I'm gonna go Eagles, man. I don't hate the Eagles, guys. I want people to remember that my audience thinks I really hate these dudes. I don't hate them. I hate you. I don't like you guys, man. You guys are crazy. You fans are crazy.
I think we missed one 1 p.m. game. We don't got to stay on that long now.
I did.
We
I
ain't talk
mean,
about Titans and Texans.
we still in 1 p.m.
Oh, okay.
We still in 1 p.m.
We let
The
you do
last 1 p.m. is Titans at the Houston Texans. Texans are favored by 7.5. The total is 39.5. Bink, what you think about this one? I was just pretty long-winded on the last one. What do you think about this game?
Um, I've been saying it all year. The Texans aren't 0-3 bad. Like, they're not that bad. They,
Offensive line is.
yeah. I mean, yeah. They lost 3-1 possession games. 2 to teams that were playoff teams last year, another one to a team that if the season ended right now would be a playoff team in Jacksonville. And I don't know how much you count stock into that, but that's still a division game. That's still 3-1 possession games. Like we said, those games can literally bounce either side. And they're 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 not going to lose to Houston. It's not much more. I mean, they're not going to lose to Tennessee. Excuse me. It's just not much more to say than that. They're the better team. They should out talent Tennessee. This is one of the teams you can actually out talent and win against.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Um, I'm not optimistic about the Texans anymore. I'm just not. And in that same breath, I'm not optimistic about the Titans either. But like,
I'm optimistic about Cam Ward, just not Brian Callahan.
no, I love Cam Ward. Yeah, I agree with you. I love Cam Ward. I got a feeling that the Texans are going to lose the second game to the Titans. But I'm gonna pick the Texans to win this game at
They
home.
shouldn't lose either game to the Titans, and
I
I
mean,
feel like
this is
that's.
this is like the last hurrah for the Texans if they want to be any type of series, because you got the Colts running. It's crazy to say that. I mean, they're not running away with it, but they're 3-0. They're the exact opposite of what you guys are. And then what's the other team?
Oh, and then the Texans got the Ravens next week, so yeah.
Oh, you better win. You better win. Who's the other team that is? Oh, the Jaguars. Yeah, so the Texans, they got some ground to make up. Next game, first game at the 4 p.m. when the Colts at the Rams. I'm starting with me. Um, I do think the Colts are good, but I just think the Rams, first of all, they're pissed off. Secondly, they're at home. This is a Ram spot, man. I do think we're finally going to see a D line. I think they're going to be able to control this game in the trenches. I do like the Colts offensive line, but I I got to go with the Rams here, man. The fact that they're favorites too. I mean, I know you get points for being at home, but I gotta lean with the Rams here, man. I gotta go with the Rams to win this game, man. I do, like I said, I do think the Colts are good. I do think they will likely win their division this year. If everything stays in
Never
place.
wrong, just early.
Hey yo, yeah. I mean, you won the Colts last year, man. Just one quarterback, apparently. Um, but I like the Rams here in this one, man. I like the Rams to bounce back at home. Um, Pissed off Rams team. Let's just go out here and get a win, man. Let's make Daniel Jones look like Daniel Jones is what they're thinking.
Indianapolis has treated me very well, and again, I've been in a couple of football cities. Obviously, Baltimore. I've been in I'm gonna say Landover, Maryland, because that's where the Commanders play at. But like, I've been there, and they're really high. Like, I was talking to one of the stadium workers. His name was Paul, head of security. Shout out my guy Paul. But he was just like, we haven't been 3-0 since 2005. Like,
Yeah,
he's like, they're real excited for this team. They're real excited for Indiana Jones. They're real excited for everything. They like their defense, they like their offense. But with all that being said, I'm still picking the Rams in this one. I just like the Rams a little bit more. I like Sean McVay more than I like Shane Steichen. I like obviously Stafford more than I like Daniel Jones. I like Devontae Adams and Puka more than I like Michael Pittman and Josh Downs and Alec Pierce. And you know something else crazy about the Colts Stadium? And I know I texted this in the group chat. So me and my guy Solomon, he's the other journalist intern we have at MSU Creatives. We're in the press box and we're walking through the press box and we're seeing these different posters up. They're framed, right? And you got Bob Sanders right here, Dwight Freeney, Dallas Clark and Reggie Wayne right here, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. You know who the first current player we see is? And I know, Mike, you know who it is because I told you. It's Alec Pierce. And the only other current player we see is Jonathan Taylor. I'm like, they really love them some Alec Pierce, who's out for this game with a concussion. But I'm like, he really got some love in the city of Indianapolis because it's crazy. Like, just think of every Colts legend you could see just up in the press box, and then it's Alec Pierce. You're just
you know,
up there laughing.
big love, man. Just wanted to go through the injury report real quick. DeForest Buckner is questionable with a back injury. Anthony Gold questionable. Kenny Moore is out. Alec Pierce is out, as you just mentioned, and Matt Goncalves. I don't know how you say his last name. He's out. Guard for the Colts. For the Rams, nobody out besides Killer Weatherspoon, who's on IR, been on IR. But Devontae Adams, Tyler Higbee, Rob Havenstein, and Kobe Parkinson are all questionable for this game. But I do like the Rams, man. I want to see the Rams. I haven't seen the Rams play a complete game. Um,
Yeah.
I know they beat the Texans week 1, 14-9, and I mean, I they had some hiccups in that Titans game, but ultimately won 33-19. But last week against the Eagles, it was the exact opposite from a complete game. Um, so I want to see the Rams put together a complete game, man. I think they'll be able to do it and get back on track. Um, Next 4 o'clock game, Jaguars at the 49ers. We all know Nick Bosa, one of the premier pass rushers in the league. He is out for the season with the torn ACL. Juwan Jennings is questionable. Ricky Pearsall is questionable. Brock Purdy's also questionable. Um, what do you think for this game, man? I'm leaning Jaguars. I ain't gonna lie to you, but
Man, I hate that we keep agreeing today because I have no reasoning behind it though. But I'm also leaning
I don't
Jacksonville. I
either.
can't.
I don't either. I don't either.
I legitimately can't tell you why, but San Fran, Kyle Shanahan has done one hell of a job coaching his team. I mean, they're 3-0 with all the injuries they had. We talk about injuries to Juwan Jennings, Brandon Ayuk, Purdy, obviously, offensive lineman out. Nick Bosa's now out. Like they've had injuries literally everywhere, and that hasn't been an excuse for them. They kept winning, even against a tough Seattle team. Even last week in a defensive slugfest against Arizona, they just keep finding ways to win. So it's like well, now they're playing a Jacksonville team who we saw against Cincinnati found a way to lose that game. Shouldn't we pick Ling with San Fran? Like everything points to a San Fran win. Like I could see it, but I think Brian Thomas Jr. and I know Jalen got on me for saying this one, but I said he looked like he got a little bit of his mojo back after he caught the big crossing route to put the Jaguars in the range to in the game. He's screaming at the crowd and stuff like that. I hope we see that version of BTJ this week.
for sure, man. Real quick, I want to. I'm gonna clip this actually, real quick. I'm gonna clip this because I gotta make a point because I said I like the Bears last week and I said I like the Bears last week because nobody wanted to take them. Everybody wrote the Bears off. It's not quite the same thing, but I just wanted to explain to people this is how the sports book make a lot of money, man. Everybody's off the Bears and stuff like that. Everybody's on the 49ers. They're riding high. They're finding ways to win even with Mac Jones under center. So conventional wisdom should say let's go take the 49ers. But I'm going to take the Jaguars here. I don't love Trevor Lawrence, but I don't love Brock Purdy either. being banged up. Um, we'll just have to see, man. But I'm leaning Jaguars here, man. I don't got no real reasoning behind this. I don't. But the Jaguars can definitely roll into San Fran and win this game. But next game, whoo, 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 whoo. Man, first of all, Bink, let me set the stage. Let me set the table for you. If I told you beginning of the year, obviously the Ravens and the Chiefs play each other week 4, what would you assume that their records were?
At least both 2-1 because I know they both had tough games, but definitely not 1-2 for each. Meaning loser this game is gonna
Yes,
go to 1-3,
yes.
and
The
both be
loser of this
behind the eight
game.
ball in their divisions.
Both behind the 8 ball, man. Chiefs super 8 ball too, because I expect the Chargers to be 4-0 at the end of this weekend. Um, what's your prediction, man?
Man. I said this Chiefs offense wasn't gonna be right till my guy Rasheed. Well, I don't even know if I could call that guy my guy, but my guy Rasheed Rice comes
Nah,
back. You know, he's on my fantasy.
he's a good guy.
He's on my fantasy teams. He's on multiple of my teams. So like, I said the Chiefs offense not gonna be right till he comes back. What's Xavier Worthy's status for this game?
Last I saw was he's expected to play.
I think that's what I saw too. I was just trying to make sure.
Let's go ahead and fact check.
He's not on the injury report.
Yep. There we go. Yeah, as of an hour ago.
And I was talking to Brian about that because he was like, when Xavier Worthy comes back, the Chiefs offense is gonna be different. And I was like, I don't even necessarily believe that. Because not saying him and Tyquan Thornton are the same receiver, but I'm like, they bring the same elements a little bit. I mean, you saw Tyquan Thornton getting hyper used last week against the Giants, and it was working to perfection. So I'm like, I'm looking at that. I think the Chiefs defense can do enough to slow down the Ravens offense. I mean, if the Ravens offense don't slow down themselves, because they seem to do that a lot as well. I'm leaning Chiefs. And I don't feel confident in this at all, but I'm leading with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to get this one out. And it's more so the fact that I can see a world where the Ravens are 1-3. I don't know what the world looks like if the Chiefs are 1-3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to pick that as my reasoning to pick the Chiefs, but I do trust one thing. One thing I have trusted about the Chiefs is I've trusted their defense more than I've trusted Baltimore's defense this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell is going on. Like,
But the thing is, it's like bad on bad because you got Baltimore, one of the worst run defenses, going up against one of the worst run offenses.
Yeah, you do have bad on bad. That's something's got to give that because opponents rushing yards per game. You have the Kansas City, who was 18th, and Baltimore is 30th. I got a feeling we're gonna see an explosive type of game, and we haven't seen that. For some reason, I'm just feeling it. Like I feel like we might have like a high scoring type of game. The total's at 48.5 for a reason. But I am leaning Chiefs, man. I'm leaning Chiefs, bro. I'm leaning Chiefs, and this sucks because everybody knows Lamar and Mahomes, both my guys, especially Patrick Mahomes II. We all know that's my guy. But I gotta throw the Chiefs hat on, man. I'm rolling with the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Chiefs in this one, man. Damn it. Next game. Bears, Raiders, man. I got the jersey on today, man. It was like real quick in my room. It was real quick to put on. But I'm rolling with the Bears, man. And I think it's gonna be a lot of Bears fans up in Vegas. Everybody's in Vegas, but I think it's gonna be some Bears fans in that thing, man. I like the Bears because last week, not saying like I did expect the Bears do what they did. I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually did. Everybody else didn't because I was getting crucified in the Annie Up Consulting comments. You can go look at those joints, Bing. Did I even tell you about those comments?
Mm-hmm. You sent me them.
Yeah, they told me to return my equipment. That's crazy. They told me to return my equipment, bro. That's crazy, bro. And then when I went back and responded back to them after the game, they had nothing to say. They didn't even respond. Not a like or nothing. But I like the Bears, man. I think they're finally they've seen something last week, man. And now you've seen another bad defense. They just got different dudes on that defense. But I will say though, they are going to be missing a couple of guys. Offensive tackle Darnell Wright is out. TJ Edwards is still out. Grady Jarrett is also out. For the Raiders, Michael Mayer is out with
What
a
about their
concussion.
corners? Is Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon back?
Kyler Gordon, no, Jalen Johnson's out for the year. Kyler Gordon's questionable
Jalen
though.
Johnson out for the year?
Yeah, they say he's gonna be out indefinitely.
I did not see that.
Yeah, they say he's gonna be out indefinitely. When that news broke a couple like 2 weeks ago, but Kyler Gordon is questionable.
I just knew he was out last week. I didn't know he was.
So the last thing I saw, it said no, he says to have surgery he could return. He has a core muscle. He had surgery on a core muscle. But no, I saw like, it was out for the year. It was out indefinitely, so that could mean for a while. But yeah, he's out for a minute. But damn, I love that now. But I like the Bears to win this game, man. I don't like what I've seen from Geno Smith, and I know you. I won't say he's your guy, but I know you spoke highly of him over the offseason. But Caleb Williams has actually been all right, man. He's actually been all right, and you know who else has been all right? Rome Odunze. He's been on your
I got him on fantasy. I ain't gonna lie, I'm trying to deal him now before this goes away. I'm not saying it's gonna go away, but like I don't think he can sustain 4 touchdowns in 3 weeks. I mean, what is it, 4 or 5 touchdowns in 3 weeks? It's ridiculous.
16 catches, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't know if he can sustain it over the full season.
But I like the Bears, man. If there is another week in theory for Ashton Genty to get off, it will be this game. The Bears' run defense still isn't good. They're 26 in opponents' rushing yards per game, and the Cowboys didn't even really get off on them last week.
Javonte Williams had 70 yards himself and 10 carries, so I feel like he got off on them.
Yeah, I mean he got off, but like those, I don't know. I'm just gonna say those numbers didn't really matter that much.
Yeah,
not the numbers are the numbers, but it didn't matter in context. But yeah, if there is an avenue for Ashton Jennings to have a good game, it would be this week. This might be a best bet. I ain't gonna lie. Make sure you're getting yours. But I like the Bears to win this one, man. Bear down, man. You know how I get down with the Bears. They're about to hit their stride right here, man.
We reference this guy a lot, and his name is Colin Cowherd. You know how he is. He don't like teams coming off. I feel like last week was a big emotional win for the Chicago Bears. Not only because they played my Dallas Cowboys, but they were 0-2. Their game back at home. Caleb Williams is coming out party. And teams normally let down a little bit after that game. Not saying the Bears are going to let down this. Well, I guess I am saying that because I am going to pick the Raiders in this one. I think this is going to be kind of a shootout. I don't like either defense in this one. I think Brock Bowers could get off a lot with TJ Edwards being out. I think he could finally reclaim his stride. Like you said, I like Genty this week too. The Cowboys were really moving the ball offensively until they got into their own way with the turnovers, obviously. Like the game could have been a lot closer than 31-14. I don't think that really shows how.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
And the Raiders, obviously outside of the Chargers game, they've done a pretty good job of taking care of the football this year. So I think they can take care of the football. I think this could be a shootout, and I'll rock with the Raiders a little bit in this one. Hungry dog runs faster.
I can see this game going either way. I wanted to rewind a little bit. I mean,
shout out Pete Carroll.
Wanted to rewind because I wanted to talk about what's next for either team between the Chiefs Ravens. What could they potentially be facing? So I'm gonna pull up the Chiefs' next 5 games, and I'm sorry I had to go back to this, but the Chiefs' next 5 include Jacksonville on Monday Night Football, Detroit on Sunday Night Football, the Raiders, the Commanders on Monday Night Football, and at the Bills is the next 5. And then for the Ravens, their next 5 is the Texans, the Rams, bye week, Chicago Bears, and the Dolphins. And the Vikings.
I'm interested to see how that Vikings game gonna go.
Yeah. There's gonna be a Lamar. I can't wait to bet on Lamar Jackson when they play the Dolphins.
In Miami on a
October.
Thursday night,
Yeah, I
Halloween
can't
Eve.
wait. I actually can't wait to bet on that. I'm actually super excited. But interesting stretch. I just wanted to point those out real quick, man. But the next game is this Sunday Night Football.
And of course it is.
Oh God. You know where I'm going with this one. Next game, Sunday Night Football. Packers at the Cowboys. Packers are favored by 6.5. Total is 46.5. Packers coming off a tough loss against the Cleveland Browns. Cowboys coming off a tough loss against the Chicago Bears. But they lost more than just that game. They lost CeeDee Lamb, who's going to be out for the next couple of weeks with the ankle injury, high ankle sprain. Um, ah, Micah's coming back to Dallas. Let's start with that one, man. How
I'm
do you
already
feel
over
about
it.
it? Hey, yo.
I'm already over this game. I'm over everything. People talking about this tribute video that we're not giving him. And Aiden brought up a good point. He's a co-host of the Just Casual Sports Podcast. When do NFL players ever get tribute videos? The only one I remember seeing is Tom Brady.
Yeah, but that made sense.
I don't think a Micah tribute video even makes sense because he's like, I love Micah, love him to death. You know this. He's only been with the team for 4 years. It's not like he's like, obviously he's a legend in his own way, but it's not like he's literally like this isn't like if DeMarcus Ware was on the Broncos and came back to AT&T Stadium. I feel like in that case, DeMarcus Ware would have got a tribute video, but he's only been with the team for 3-4 years, and I don't even understand why they asked him that in the media. Like I just don't see that being that big of a deal. And they're trying to compare it to Luka Doncic. I'm like, that's a totally different standpoint in everything.
Then again, like you said, they don't really do that in the NFL.
Yeah, they don't. I was like, literally the only one I ever remember seeing is Brady. I'm like, Russ played with Russ played with the Seattle Seahawks for like 10 years, gets traded to the Broncos. Week 1, they just came and said, let's play football.
Facts. But how do you see this game going? Break it down to me schematic wise, man. I know
Schematic wise, the Cowboys actually have an advantage in one spot, and it's the interior of their defensive line. It's been really good. Kenny Clark and Osa Digazua has been one of the top defensive tackle duos in the NFL, and the Packers are without some of their guards for this game. And that's really where they were getting pressured at in the game against Cleveland, if you watch that game. But the only problem is, I'm not fond of the secondary at all for Dallas. I don't know if you heard, but they've been giving it up a lot through the air. Whether it's Trayvon Diggs, whether it's Donovan Wilson, whether it's Malik Hooker, whether it's Kyer Elam. Good news, DeRon Bland is going to be back for this game. Matt Eberflus declined to say if he's going to be playing outside corner or his natural slot position. So I'm not going to say it might have been time for Kyer Elam to get out of there. I think that's what he's trying to say. I think that's really what Eberflus is trying to say. So the worst part is, like, I think this has all the makings of being a defensive slugfest, actually, but I don't trust the Cowboys secondary enough for it to be a defensive slugfest. That's the only part that kind of scares me a little bit. But if it's one thing Matt Eberflus did, I mean, even I guess he was only there for the first game against the Packers last year. He kind of mucked it up for the Packers a little bit. I don't know if he has Matt LaFleur's number or whatever, but he mucked it up for the Packers last year. So I can see that. Offensively on their defense, I'm not going to lie, we have no answers other than the fact that we could actually run the football. And you even see a team like the Commanders that don't really work against Green Bay. Green Bay's been one of the best run defensive teams in the league. But, Jerry Jones said we're going to run at Micah Parsons, so I want to see how that goes. I don't think it's going to work. But, I cannot pick the Cowboys. So I'm going to pick them. Am I confident in them? Not at all.
You picked them on a Jack picks too?
Yes, I'm going to pick them. Oh, because if I'm right, I'm parading it.
Well, that's real. I would do something like that too. I'm gonna go with the Packers in this one. Before we get off this game, will Michael Parsons get a sack?
You know what? I'm going to let me say no. And that's going to be at the bottom of every ticker when this game pops up. It's going to be like final Packers 27, Cowboys 10, Michael Parsons 0 sacks. That's exactly what it's going to say.
Okay. I think Michael Parsons is going to get a sack, man. But I feel like it's going to come late, like Packers going to be up type vibes. Obvious pass situation.
It's going to be so hilarious. If, you know how Dak just sometimes just shrugs people off. It don't matter how much they weigh. It'll be funny if he just shrugs. He just shrugs Michael off. The stadium will go, wow.
But all right, we got a doubleheader for Monday Night Football. This first one we don't have to talk about at all. Good night. The Jets at the Dolphins. Miami's favored by 2.5. Over under is 44.5. Brother. The Jets, bro. I picked them from my Jack picks. I don't care to deep dive it. I really don't.
You've picked them 3 weeks in a row now.
That means they gotta win eventually, bro. Man, I don't got no reason to pick the Dolphins.
I mean, no, I'm not saying you should pick the Dolphins. I'm just saying it's funny you
just
picked the
pointing
Jets
it
3
out.
weeks in a row.
Yeah, I got the Jets, man. I have nothing worth talking about this game, though. I have nothing.
I think if the Dolphins lose this game, this might be the game that gets Mike McDaniel fired. They literally just can't lose this game, and that's why I'm going with Miami. I don't feel confident in either side.
Yeah, that's real.
But I think Miami's offense has shown me the most consistent stretch of good play from any of the 4 sides of the ball in this game.
That's true. They showed me something in that Bills game. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie. I guess I should be picking them because I just said that. But I'm picking the
Jets. They got a little mini bye from Thursday night to Monday night.
That's true. That's a nice little break.
They needed it.
Rest. Damn.
And nice. It's not even like they got to move time zones or nothing. They're just going from Buffalo. This game's in Miami.
Yeah.
Like Buffalo back home.
They didn't have to go nowhere for real. Yeah. They would have been playing in New York.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I respect all these NFL players and NBA players. Everybody who plays this professional sports league more. I don't know how they get on these planes back to back like this. Especially when those NBA players be playing those back-to-backs. You might have a game in Houston one day, then the next day it's in Utah. I don't know how they do that.
They be having those 3 games in 4 nights. Those
I don't know how they do that.
Nah. They said the OC joint is when you playing 3 games in 4 nights, but you got the back-to-back in Denver and Utah, you in those mountain states. Those joints be teams, bro. Look out for it. Just look out for it when the NBA rolls around, and look out for when a team plays on the same road trip. They play in those 2 places, bro. They don't perform that well. Like it's OC. It's OC. But the final game of the slate, man, we got Cincinnati at Denver. I'm gonna start with you because you don't like Bo Nix.
It's not that I don't like Bo Nix. It's like that I like antagonizing Jalen.
It's just fun to troll Jalen.
It is also funny because Bo Nix, by all the analytics metrics, has been like the worst passer in football this year, which I don't even believe is that true. Like watching him, he's not horrible. He's just not good. That's the thing. You want your second-year quarterback to be good and really damn good at that. But this is another game where I'm struggling. Like I know
Broncos are 7.5.
I don't think it should be that much. I know we saw Jake Brown in disaster class performance, but that's against a Brian Flores-led defense. And that's with a defensive player having the best defensive game we've ever seen by a player in PFF history. Like, it's so many different outliers that happened that game. Like, Jamar Chase fumbling. You had multiple fumbles. It wasn't even just the interceptions. Like, I don't even think Jake Browning played horrible. I just don't think he played good. Then again, I'm saying all that. I'm picking Denver. I don't got – Cincinnati just looks terrible. Chase Brown's been one of the most inefficient running backs in football.
Yeah, man. And there's a lot of fantasy nerds that told me I should draft that dude. And
I was never that high on Chase Brown.
Bro, so many fantasy nerds told me to draft that dude, bro.
People were saying he was the next Austin Eckler, and somebody said he's Austin Eckler right now with the torn Achilles. I said they got it.
Yo.
So they got it.
Damn. That's wild. But real quick before we get out of here, man, I want to talk WNBA because we're in the Final Four of the WNBA playoffs, man. We got 2 series tied between Vegas and the Indiana Fever. And then
there was a lot of people wearing Fever shirts out there today.
Oh, yeah, they play tonight at home.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's lit, bro. You should pull up. Bro, nah, hold on, bro. Nah, I'm going to pull up these ticket prices, bro. How much is single seat? Never mind. I mean, actually, no, it's not that bad. $100 to get you into a.
It was enough amount of meetings.
No, actually, no, $100 not even bad.
Were they playing at Gamebridge?
Yes.
That's like 5 minutes away from where I'm staying at.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You should tell your mom to bless you with $100. Go see this game. It's a big game, and she'll probably tune in just because you're there. But $100 can get you a really nice seat in this town.
Gamebridge is really a 12-minute walk from where I'm staying at.
Damn. Yeah, nah. That I wish I was down there with you, bro. I would have went, bro. If I knew you was going in advance, bro, I would have faded this trip. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have pulled up, bro.
I say, but I didn't even know until
Yeah, nah, you didn't know
Monday.
too. Like, yeah. So I would have faded because this is lit. This is actually pretty lit. But Fever have been competing all year, man. Without Caitlin Clark. So I just wanted to point that out. Obviously, Asia Wilson won
The
MVP
MVP.
um, for the fourth time, which is crazy. And then you got the Lynx playing the Phoenix Mercury. And the Lynx, I want to talk about this because the Lynx, they were up 16 and a half and they lost to the Mercury in game two. And now they have to play on the road in Phoenix. So that's tough, man.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. So should be both of these games should be really good, man. I just wanted to bring it up because want to, of course, show our women some love, and of course, it's the Final Four of the WNBA. So we also got baseball winding down too. Playoffs should be starting soon for that. But yeah, man, I'm done. You got anything else to add?
Nope.
All right, bet, man. I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank everybody for the continued love and support. Me, host, me, guy Mike Curry, and I am signing out. Peace.
Peace.